All right, we are a go. So you guys are Pardon the Scars, but I don't know anybody's name. So left to right across the screen, who are we?
It's on you.
So is that me? Okay, so my name is Steven. I'm the bass player.
I'm Brian. I'm the drummer.
I'm also Brian. I'm lead guitar and backup vocals.
And I'm James, lead vocals and guitar.
Awesome. So we have two Brians that won't get confusing at all.
So this one right here is Brain because it's spelled with an I, and he's to stick with Brian because it's with a Y.
Okay.
You really can call me Brain. Like that's just what happens.
It's
right?
pretty much
fine.
So
Maybe
you
I
can
won't
go by
have-
Brain. It's an easy
Yeah.
day.
Perfect. All right. So just to get us started, why name the band Pardon the Scars? What's the story behind that?
It's sorry, the name itself doesn't have too much of a story other than we were in a position to rebrand at the time. We had a formerly named Paracosm, and we were transitioning from that for a handful of reasons, but we were just kind of, all throwing ideas. Really just our band message chat thread became nothing but band name suggestions, and hit me in the shower one night, added it to the thing, added it to the chat, and we all liked it. But because it had so many different ways to sort of take it and different ways to interpret it, and it really fit what we had we didn't just want to change our name, we had changed a lot of our lyrical content, our style, with two new members changing the key. So when we were writing together, even songs that existed, we were letting them add their input in, so the songs would morph and change, and it was a different direction altogether. So the name change felt right, and Pardon the Scars seemed to really fit well. It just was a hurrah moment. Everybody was like, "Yeah, that's it." And
I think it was something that we could all relate to. We all have our own kind of meanings behind, how it personally relates to us.
Okay.
So we also thought, that people would also relate to it. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very interesting name. I really liked it. And a lot of us at the Threshold were kind of wondering what the story was behind that.
I wish it was a lot better, but that, the idea was, it was instantly when I put it through, it was like, oh, wow. And then we started talking about all the ways that we all individually kind of took it, and they were all different. And it was just like, it instantly was like, yes, that's the one.
Yeah. It's a really good name. I really like it. It's very memorable. So why do you guys play this genre? What I noticed in your Facebook description, you guys describe yourself as melodic, aggressive, deep cut rock and roll.
Yeah,
I think it goes a lot with it's not that like melt your face off screaming death metal kind of stuff, but it's also not easy listening either. It's got a lot of energy. A lot of our songs we put our own energy into it, and we want the audience to feel that too. So having that just kind of driving feeling, but also really make you pay attention to the music. If you don't like lyrics, you can listen to the music. If you don't like the music, you can listen to the lyrics. And so it kind of reaches a wide swath of people, and really just brings that energy up no matter where we play or who's kind of listening to it.
I love that. That's awesome. So musically, are there any role models that inspired you guys to play?
Oh gosh, so many. And that was actually my second part of the answer to the aggressive deep cut, rock and roll. It's we all come to the table with just the widest variety of musical influences and direction. So all of those influences, like, we all kind of tend to gravitate towards the really awesome songs of whatever bands we listen to and whatever bands we call our bands that we love. And they're all so different, but it doesn't matter if it was the single or like a really good song that was track 8 or track 9, like, listen to this song. Like, we all kind of come with that energy, like, listen to how good that song is. Oh my God. And it wasn't a single or whatever. It wasn't. So we're not trying to sound like anybody. We're just trying to sound like all of our favorite music put together.
Yeah.
Not trying to in a way, but it's just, we can't help but to when we start writing new stuff, and he adds an idea, and then he's got this crazy whacked out, thing on the drums where it's like I'm losing the.
It's like polyrhythm.
Polyrhythm, yeah, some kind of polyrhythm, and it's just like, things start taking off. It's just, we all kind of come to the table with very different ideas that come together in sort of an amalgamation.
We
And we try not to let every two songs sound alike. If we start to get into a territory, it's like, that sounds a lot like this other song we have. And it's like, okay, well, here, we don't want to typecast ourselves into any sort of band name type
Yeah.
genre.
That's completely
we don't even-
understandable.
We were actually just having like a little writing session before this, and we were trying to, working on something new. And as we're passing the guitar around, you could like almost hear the different influences and styles come out of each of us,
Yeah.
playing. And I even said at one point, I'm just like, I love listening to all these different influences and our musical backgrounds coming into one, because it was really apparent.
We were trying to come up with a new riff for a verse section, because the verse section we had was good, but we were like, what can we do with it? So we just looped it, and I would play for 16 measures or so and try to come up with something. And if something was good, we'd be like, oh, and then we just passed the guitar around. Steven got the guitar and started playing. And actually his part was the one we were like, oh, that just the intro rollout. It was just like perfect. And then we took that and started adding more to it. And we just literally were tossing the guitar around, and it was, we'd never done that before, but it was really cool.
It's
awesome.
really interesting. Each one of them play the same riff and it have a completely different sound behind it. It's just, it's really, really cool.
That is
And it
awesome.
came out to be pretty much a bopper. I'm gonna call it
It's gonna be a good one.
a bop. I'm sorry, I left the ER on because I'm old.
So
Sock 'em bopper.
hey, that's a really cool t-shirt. I was taking a look at the merch store. That one's probably my favorite.
Which one?
The Sock 'em and Bop 'em.
The Rock'em Sock'em
Oh, yeah.
Robots?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Bestseller for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. So tell me about the new single that's coming out. What inspired it? Like, how did it be created? How was it born?
That was a carryover from the previous band. And what we did is we just laid out the song basically and said, okay, let's take this, literally the intro to the verse, and take each part apart. And we ended up rewriting almost all of the lyrics. The the chorus melody is completely different than, we just started from the ground up, and all four basically wrote this song together with the loose construct of the song that was before.
Right.
Essentially, that's how we did it. And so it came in and just sort of grew pretty organically. We had, it was during the pandemic. We had videos
Gotcha.
of us all in masks and separated in different sides of the garage. We're like, we're getting together somehow. And we just stayed, to 8 feet apart from each other in this garage. So he's in a corner, he's in a corner, but we have these videos of us jamming the riffs and putting it together. And the vocals and the lyrics were, about demons, shadow people, your own. They're not demons in the biblical sense. They're yours.
Yeah.
And trying to get through. I don't know. Maybe someone else can interpret it better.
I mean, to me, it's more of like a mental health thing where you've got like your own mental struggles, and you've come to a point where you're overcoming them. You're actually purging them out of yourself and out of your life to turn over a new leaf, or to start something new for the better. Right. It has a really cool meaning, at least for me. That's been my interpretation of it, and I've really loved the lyrical content, and watching how it grew from its infancy in the previous band, because it was another drummer that actually played their parts, and I actually took those parts and completely just ripped them and just started like kind of made it my own. So to hear where it is now, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's
So that hi-hat work.
Yeah, like all
some
the
of the
hi-hat,
old school vibe stayed. Some of the real cool things that were in the way back version stayed because they were just cool. We worked around them.
I love it. So
I would say with the name too, just like the name in the song, we try not to pigeonhole ourselves into one particular thing. We tend to leave lyrics and things open to interpretation,
Right.
so people can connect more on a personal level.
There's
Yeah, a lot of-
suggestive things and stuff enough to grab onto, we hope, but not tell the complete story where this is how it happens. It was because there's a struggle. This song, I would say, because everybody struggles with whatever it is you struggle with, but however long it takes, you reach a realization where you have to figure out how to fix this. And I think this song is capturing that moment where it starts in the struggle, but it becomes like, I've got to do something to break out of this cycle, whatever it may be. I think this song is sort of like that moment. I would say, like, you know, and then it ends on a higher note, so to speak,
Yeah.
but not quite. Because you still have to live with whatever it is you have. It's not
Yeah.
happy most of the time. It's just now awareness and coping and being aware. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a bittersweet happy ending.
That could
Yeah.
even go, you know, going back to your question about the name, you know, it's, you know, if you're gonna be purging these demons, you still gotta live with what you did, even though you are, or what's, you know, kept you down.
Or what
and
you
stuff.
have, or
It's
what's-
exactly
yeah,
what-
what happened to
whatever's-
you, or what happened to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're healing from it. You know, that's really kind of I feel like kind of the overall message of most of our songs is some kind of message of healing in some way, you know, and so going through life,
And some FUs along the way. We got some
we have
FUs,
some of those. Yeah.
You've
that's true.
you've always got to get those in.
right?
Oh, yeah.
But you're always gonna have, you know,
Gotta have
those
your parting
scars from those
shots.
things, and wherever, you know, but they're scars, are things that you've healed from. And I think purge is kind of
Exactly.
an allusion to even why our name is kind of applicable to, you know, our content and our songs.
I absolutely love that. That is awesome. So I know Brian had stated what he liked the most about the song, but what about everyone else? Like, what's your favorite part about Purge?
That's a good question.
So for me personally, it's playing it live, and we do this whole little breakdown where we have the crowd basically singing the woes back to us or with us, along with us. So to me, hearing the crowd and that crowd interaction connecting on that level is very,
I'm getting chills thinking.
you know,
about it.
Yeah.
gratifying. Like it's
I don't-
it's like puts you in this whole different mental space when you're working with that crowd and you make that connection, you know, and
Yeah.
you're kind of working together in this crazy high energy environment. So
It's very
that's
surreal.
that's my favorite part of Purge in general.
That's not
I would-
fair that he answered first.
Yep, I
because-
would absolutely agree. Well, there you go, 4 answers in one.
Yeah.
That is actually my favorite part of the song too, that little breakdown.
Yeah.
section.
Right, yeah, when that section, it changes. The song is grinding on this one gear, right? And then it slows down, but coming out of it, it maintains its original structure, but it just churns in a completely different direction, and it's more uphill feeling.
It's more of like an epiphany.
An epiphany, yeah, it's just, it sort of gets, I don't know. I listen to my favorite songwriters, and they're all just, I don't know. Every time I hear a song that just kills me in the center of my chest, and it's like, I wish I wrote that. This is hopefully like, it tells a story and it doesn't stay the same. And we didn't try to do it that way. It just, when I listen to it, I'm just like, cool. Like, it does do a change. I love listening to it, and I'm not supposed to like my own stuff, but I do.
Who
And
says you're
yeah,
not
this one's
supposed to
cool.
like your own stuff?
It just turns a really cool corner, but stays pretty structurally the same. That's all. Like, and I like how that feels. And that's also the moment where we do the crowd work. So it's extra special. Yeah.
And having the crowd going, it goes from being a song to being an experience more so. You know, it's when all those people are like actually like singing it back to you and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's when you're like, okay, this song is really reaching people, and it is an experience. You know.
That's awesome. I also really like the artwork that was with it as well. Are you the one that created that?
Yeah, so I basically do most of our, or I don't want to say most, almost all of our graphic
Design.
you know,
Yeah. Logo.
T-shirt stuff,
all that,
logo,
yeah.
merchandise, anything social media wise. That's kind
That's
of
awesome. I love it. Where did the idea come from? Did it come from straight from the song, or?
No, it just kind of happened. I kind of have a general idea of the concept of the song, and I try to find images and can kind of compile, you know, a piece of art that I think is a good representation for the song, and that's just kind of what came to fruition.
That is awesome. I love that. So we've probably got about 10 minutes of time. Do you guys want to keep it serious, or I've comically pulled together some really stupid questions if you guys just want to laugh? It's completely up to you.
Yeah, we don't have
I
to stay
mean,
serious.
we gotta
I think
have
the
an
song
app or
is
something,
serious,
you know?
so yeah, let's go with the lighter side of it.
We are not a serious band.
Yeah, we laugh more than you think. It's 3 military veterans. There's a lot of bullshittery.
That
I'm
is
allowed to say that.
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm the only one that's not military, and it's hilarious being in this band. 'Cause they'll have military jargon. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I have no idea.
We're tearing each other apart.
Yeah.
So no, it's cool.
I love it.
And
So-
Arthur right here, come on in, man.
Come on up, bud.
Yeah, we got
Speaking of artwork,
he's like our unofficial official fifth member.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's behind the scenes with gear, obviously it's like roadie work, but not just moving gear, but knows how to set it up, knows the ins and outs of all the cable routing, etc.
That's awesome.
When Brian has to, if we can't have him there, we have the rug and he can set up the drums exactly how Brian wants them. So he's everything. He's drum tech, guitar tech, everything.
That's awesome.
essentially the fifth member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then works the merch booth, film stuff when we're driving, like just all of the.
He's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, as much as I can.
Well, he is
He's
more
a
than
good driver.
welcome to chime in on these really stupid questions as well.
Oh,
So, what is the most Canadian thing you have ever seen? And you can't say Canada.
The most
The most
Canadian
Most
thing I've ever seen.
Canadian thing.
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's
I honestly can't say.
Letterkenny, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
Yeah. I mean, I was just in Maine a month ago, and that's about the closest that I got to Canada. So
Well, I mean, if we're talking like I guess you know what? Let's go to the mall by Robin Sparkles. That's the Canadian thing I've ever seen.
I love it. So if you had to fight your grandma or grandpa with a mackerel, who would you choose and why?
With a
Oh,
mackerel,
you said
With a
so.
mackerel.
a fish.
oh man.
That's got a pretty nice saw blade fin on the back, isn't it? It's not
Yes.
a fish. It's a freaking weapon.
It's,
I feel
it's
like
a very metal looking fish.
I would say
I would
I would probably pick someone that's already gone, so I would just be standing there hitting their tombstone like an idiot. That would be my choice. I don't want to hurt somebody.
I would go with grandma.
Oh, man.
Why grandma? What did grandma do?
My grandpa is like the whole like Great Depression, like tough roughneck guy. He would beat the shit out of me. So
If you hit him with a fish, it'd
yeah,
it'd be game
he's like-
over.
Yeah, he's like old school grandpa. Like
He would give you 10 seconds to
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy, but I'm still afraid of him.
I don't know, dude. I love both of my grandmothers, so I would have to say probably my grandpa on my dad's side. Because
It's very specific.
let me tell you what. I know he's tough enough to take it. I know he's tough enough to take it. Not to say anything on the mom's side, but that's where I know that he is tough enough to take it. So
What about you, Brain?
besides, he's got dementia. He'll bring
Brain.
about it in an hour.
I mean, all of my grandparents have passed, but if they're still alive, it'd be one of my grandpas because they would laugh, I feel like, more so than my grandmas. And like one was Navy, one was Marine. They could take a hit.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
I've never thought about what that kind of impact would feel like, but yeah, I think they think it's funny and then smack me back with it, so I feel like
all right. Thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
Nope,
for it.
nope.
I mean,
I could take it or leave it. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. So
Fruit does not belong on pizza.
I don't like the big old chunks, like the cube, the standard size that you would get in a jar or a
Yeah.
can. But I did have a pizza one time that had crushed pineapple sort of sprinkled onto the sauce and then the ham and stuff. Not bad. I dug that.
even like
Or I'm sorry,
Japanese
bacon,
spices.
if we're still talking about Canada. the Bacon. But yeah, that was okay because it sort of was just like you had the essence of it, which was dope, but you didn't have to chew on a big old hunkin' piece of pineapple, which is kind of.
Yep.
I love pineapple, but not on pizza.
You know,
Pineapple juice all the way.
Pineapples, no.
I'm all about it 100%.
Cut up a
100%
fresh
for it.
pineapple
Like,
and just I'll eat
Let's do
half of the thing while I'm cutting it. So
Yeah, I'm for it, man.
All right. And finally, before we wrap up, what is your second favorite cheese?
Wanda.
Ramunda.
I'm concerned what your favorite cheese
I
is
would
now.
say Borzen is good. It's like a crumbly cheese that has like garlic. It's like, okay, so it comes in like a tin. It's like wrapped in like a tin cup sort of thing, but like you can peel it away. And when you open it, it's sort of like crumbles but if you touch it, if it gets on your hands while you're crumbling it, it'll start to melt. but it crumbles almost like blue cheese, but it's called Borzen. It's almost a spreadable kind of cheese, but I would say brie. It's my
Change
second.
your-
Yeah, what?
That was my first favorite. I wanted to explain why.
That
brie-
wasn't the question. Monster.
All right.
Come on. it's not
Monster.
bad. Yeah,
That's a good one.
So, I love
I'm trying to
cheese
go
sticks
country
way
club.
too much. I love cheese sticks way too much, so it can't be mozzarella. So I'm gonna have to go with Parmesan. Yeah, love Parmesan.
You have a palate of a 7-year-old.
Oh.
Is it Parmesan that's actually in like the bottles or Parmesan that comes
Yeah.
from the block?
Shaved Parmesan.
Shaved Parmesan or
Say when, monsieur. Like,
you know, I'll take both, but I do like the block.
I don't know.
better
It's a
than I
little
like
roller
the
thing.
block. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up then. So where can I go listen to you guys? If anyone has never heard from you before, where are you guys on?
We're on everything. Yeah.
Everything?
If it's there, be on it. Yeah. When the song releases on the 10th. So the video will premiere on the 2nd, and it will be exclusive on the Sound 228. Right there. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but yeah, where you can find it, but between the 2nd and the 10th is on the Sound 228's radio platform. That'll be played a few times, but then the exclusive video premiere will be on the Sound 228's Facebook and YouTube live stream. And
It'll also be available on our actual YouTube as well.
on our actual YouTube, it'll be available there. But then on the 10th, it should be live everywhere.
Yeah, so all digital streaming, so Spotify, Apple, iTunes.
All right.
Amazon Music, all that good stuff.
And if you want to keep up with the band directly, the best place to go is our website, pardonthescars.com. The very first thing you see on the website is our upcoming show schedule, everything that we
Okay.
have set. So, and then it goes from there. It's got some video content, our EPK, and then all of our socials are blasted on no matter where you're at on the site. At the top and the bottom of the screen, you'll see Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the different links to go wherever you need to go. So the website's the best central hub, I would say.
All right.
'Cause you
Awesome.
see our
Awesome.
shows, you see everything. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today with Threshold. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. And we'll get this posted as soon as possible.
Awesome.
Sounds
good.
Awesome.
You have a good day
Thank you
too.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.